Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff back again. This time I'm doing another one of my collection videos. Now, I realize it's been quite a while since I've done one of these too. So yeah, let's catch up on some of the things we haven't been keeping up with. But anyway, so this is the little series I was doing, just showing the vinyl that I have for specific bands. And I've done quite a few bands in the past, but there are some of the big hitters that I have not covered. So we're going to be dealing with Iron Maiden today. So now I think one of the reasons I may have left off not doing this up to this point was because I did recall that a couple years ago, and I look back, it was in 2021 I did my Iron Maiden collection video. But however, at that point, not only did I have very few on vinyl, but I also on that video showed all my CDs. So it was more of just everything I had. And I even showed DVDs and stuff. So if you want to see a lot more of that stuff, because I don't think I've gotten any more DVDs since then, and I probably haven't gotten any further CDs except maybe, no, I think at that point when I did that one, even the new album was out. So that's probably pretty accurate still when it comes to DVDs and CDs and things. But at this point, the vinyl collection has, exponentially grown since that time. So yeah, I think for the most part, I have all of the standard studio albums. I'm trying to think back, and I don't think I'm missing your typical studio albums, but I am missing quite a few of the live albums, because they put a live album out like every 6 months, it seems like. But it seems like, no, they put a studio album out and a live album, a studio and a live album. And so there are quite a few of those. And then there are some that are only available on picture disc, like the Beast on the Road or whatever. And I'm not a big fan of picture disc, so I probably won't buy that. If I ran across it in the wild for a good price, I might buy it for the collection, but I'm not hip on buying picture discs too quickly. Anyway, going way back, we start with the first album. I think I discovered Iron Maiden probably around Number the Beast, so I went back, of course, for the Paul Di'Anno years to, pick those up later in life. Back as a teenager, I love this artwork so much. I actually used to store my album up on I had above my windowsill was a little ledge, and I could put records up there. And this one sat, not this particular copy, this is one, these are most of these are going to be the reissues that have come out in recent years. I don't think I have any OG copies from in the day at all, I don't think. We'll see. This used to sit on my wall as a teenager because I just thought the artwork was so cool. I know it's kind of grotesque, but it's just some of the best drawn artwork at the time. I just loved this. So yeah, did that. But this is about where I discovered them. I think a friend of mine introduced me to them. And back in the day, of course, we had the picture disc of this. I remember a story. My best friend at the time, we had the picture disc, and something, he was trying to play it. Something was going on, and it was skipping or something. And I remember he got mad, and he went just like a frisbee, threw it across the wall. It didn't like come close to hit me, but it hit the wall and bounced off. And then ever after, there's like this groove in the wall. It just like, I guess, dented the sheetrock or whatever kind of, walls we had back in the early 80s. But yeah, so it was just a game-changing album. Bruce Dickinson coming on board, it just really changed the whole style of the band, and we just fell in love with it. Saw them in concert. I don't think I saw them in concert until Peace of Mind tour. Saw them a couple times in the day, couple times in the 80s, in the early 80s. And then I saw them in 80 when I went in the military and went to Mississippi. I saw them, of course, on the Power Slave tour. This album came out while I was in tech school, I believe. I remember buying this and listening to this all the time when I was in tech school in the Air Force. Loved that album, and then saw that tour, which would, of course, been the Live After Death tour. Got to see the giant stage and the big Eddie coming out of there. It was such a cool thing. Hey, look, there's me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I did get to see this tour. And when I saw them on this tour, Wasp opened up for them. So it was an amazing show. Great stuff. Down in Mississippi. Now, that was really where I cut my teeth on them, and then I kind of changed pace with my lifestyle music at the time. So this album, I did not, I heard pieces of it, but, did not spend as much time with this album until many, many years later. All the rest of the albums from here would have been 10 years after they came out before I ever really got back into listening to them. So, yeah, great stuff. This is the fun stuff, and of course the album has all the little weirdo Easter egg looking pictures. You can study it and look at it. But yeah, they did great stuff. A lot of bands play Wasted Years stuff from that album. So this tends to be a favorite by a lot of people. It seems like everybody I talk to or see, they always talk about how this album is like one of their favorites. I don't know. It's good. I'm not ranking it as one of my favorites, but recently, I had to fill in for a band that plays a lot of 80s stuff, and we played a couple songs from this album, so I was forced to go in and really study the Evil That Men Do. I think it's one we did. We had to go in and was it that song? Pretty sure. No, Can I Play With Madness? We had to learn that, so I had to really focus down and and get all the drum parts down for that. That was fun stuff. No Prayer for the Dying. I think this is a time frame that a lot of the the music was changing, and bands were kind of struggling, so people kind of think these albums are hit or miss. I think they're pretty solid. Fear of the Dark. Then of course Bruce leaves, and we bring in Blaze Bayley. And I don't know what the difference is between those years and as soon as we get to this year. I have no problem. But Blaze sounds great, music, vocally. But for some reason, the music at the band changed at this point. And I don't know who, not being in the band, whose influence that was. But to me, the songs, and maybe it was Blaze, I don't think so, because it continues on even when Bruce comes back. But to me, a lot of the songs start sounding repetitive. The chorus is saying over and over and over. And I don't know. It got to the point where some of these were just hard to listen to. And I thought it was Blaze, because I'm like, well, maybe that's his songwriting, and it's just repetitive. And it got to where these albums, while they got some good spots on them, just drive me crazy at times. And it's not much better on Virtual 11. It's just they just no 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 no. It's just he keeps repeating the things over and over. And I thought maybe it's just that. So when Bruce came back, I thought maybe it's going to change, but then it doesn't. It's a brave new world. It's a brave new world. It's a brave new world. It's a brave. It's just the stuff starts sounding redundantly repetitive, and musically it's great at times, but it's a drastic feeling difference, in my opinion, to everything prior to that, the earlier Bruce years, and so I don't know. I don't know what it was, and it continues on. I mean, I just and I think Dance of Death. Got some good points, but the songs seem kind of okay, and so kind of, I can't say I got songs in here, Matter of Life and Death, songs that are, major favorites. They kind of all blur together in a lot of ways. The Final Frontier, and it could be that maybe I'm trying to listen to too much at one time, maybe trying to catch up with all this stuff. I don't know. I should go back and maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll go back and listen to some of these albums in their entirety with a new set of ears and see what we can do. Now, when I first started getting back into vinyl in 2017, one of the very first albums that I bought was Book of Souls. Now, I was told, because everybody's talking about the difference in vinyl mastering versus CDs, and a friend of mine said, look, and I had the CD of this, and he's like, look, the CD sounds great, but the vinyl is, I don't know if he said drastically, but he said it's noticeably different and sounds way better. So I thought, okay. And this is one of the very first albums I picked up, one of the new albums I picked up on vinyl when I got back into it. Does it sound drastically different? I haven't done a side-by-side comparison because really I've spent most of my time listening to this version. But that was kind of one of the things that the catalyst for catapulting me back into it. And then we do have, some of the live albums from the later years because it's easier to keep up with the ones that were coming out. So, you got the Book of Souls live. And most of these are like, I'm not going to show them all. These are like 3 album sets. They tend to release pretty much huge concert stuff. Legacy of Beast. I think this is also 3 albums, and they're all different colors, red, white, and orange, green or something. Yeah, red, white, and green. Anyway, so great stuff. And then, of course, I showed this one not too long ago because I picked it up. It's a bootleg, and yeah, it's okay. It's neither here nor there. you know, I could pass it on to somebody, and I may do that. It's not something I think that needs to be in the collection. And then Senjutsu is the most recent album. And again, you know, I don't know. I need to re-listen to this one too. I've listened to it quite a few times, but I don't know. It's just nothing grabs me as much as it used to in the earlier Bruce years. But anyway, that's it. A lot of complaining and groaning in there. But yes, Iron Maiden's still a great band. Still love them. Still check them out. Still buy them. And still looking for some of the stuff to fill the gaps in my collection. That's it for now, though. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.